my screen. So if you go on to my YouTube channel, which I'll show you in a second here. There's a video where I walk you through how I did the 3D site in last year. So last year I didn't give them enough time, and I modeled the site flat for them. If they wanted to raise it up, they had to do it on their own, but just as a baseline, because I didn't give them enough time, because we were in the 15-week and we had more stuff to cover. I did a 21-minute video where basically from start to finish, I walked them through how I modeled the site. So you're welcome to watch that for the basics, but I didn't really get into retaining walls and stuff. So I'm going to use Hayden's as an example here of how to do retaining walls. So this is actually linked in the assignment for next week, but it's on that playlist too here. So I've asked Hayden permission to show you how he did it here. And he's also, one other thing before I get into the Revit model. If you go back into Blackboard here, he was nice enough to kind of reconstruct how he did it. And I posted his step-by-step instructions up to Blackboard. So that's under, oh, it looks like the new capstones, I'm sorry, the new Blackboard's got color for fall. So if you go in here, oh, that's because they switched the Blackboard to Blackboard Plus or whatever. Anyway, if you go into assignments and you go into, so here's Hayden's tutorial where he did a step-by-step list of the steps he made to do the topo sod. How many hours do you think it took you to do this topo sod we're going to be looking at? Is it like a 4 or 5, 8 hours? What ballpark?
It depends on how like complicated you're making your sites, but if it's not all that complicated, probably take 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, so mine took 20 minutes, his took 30 minutes. No, I think I probably would take me longer. You must be, you might have a gift on doing 3D sites. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. So one of the keys is you don't try to make the whole topo as one topo surface. So this is one topo surface here, and it's subdivided to show the different material for the sidewalk and the curb. This is one topo surface for the street. This is one topo surface for the sidewalk. Then you did another one for the driveway ramp, which I don't expect you to model. Then we have another topo surface for the alley. And again, it's subdivided the way the book told you to get the paving on it. And then there's another topo surface. You don't want to just model your site because like this is the neighbor's property, basically. You want to model it bigger than your site so that when you look at it, it doesn't look like you're this island floating on top of this background picture, right? You want to have more ground on either side of you. So then this is the other neighbor's property that's been modeled. And then there's a topo surface that's flat for the house. And that's the one that's got the walls around it. Then I'll explain how he did that. And then there's one where it shows the sloping topo for the driveway. So it's made up of like easily digestible chunks. And if you go back to the backside here, there's these nice little things to kind of break up the monotony of the wall. Those are modeled as their own. So like this upper one here is its own individual topo surface. So you can see that's its own, but then these little individual chunks here are modeled as a topo surface. Now, one thing that you're going to notice is that when you put a railing, the railing wants to host to a wall. So one thing he did here is this is just the topo surface with the stone painted on the vertical face for the retaining wall. But when you look at his section through the site, so here's that topo surface. There's actually a little stone. He made a wall type called stone wall. And then he took it to the step beyond because like a lot of times they make a cap that's bigger. And he made another stone wall that's 8 inches wide and sets it on top of there. And so then that allows your railing to host to that stone wall, that it'll follow it as it goes down and everything. So I don't expect you to do this cap. It's a great detail. It looks great. If you run out of time and you only just want to do one stone wall and you do this method, of a 6-inch one, that would also be acceptable. Now you notice the other thing that's going on here is since we're not doing building sections, and we don't have a basement or a lower level here, we didn't have to go through all the trouble of, remember how we had to go in the other one and cut out the footings and all that crap? Since we have a slab on grade house and our house, our topo is below that, we can leave it there. We don't have to cut it out because it's underneath our slab level anyway. Does that all make sense? And, you know, so now, since my computer will not display colors anymore in Enscape or Revit, I'm going to stop sharing and ask Hayden to show you. Oh, one other thing before I get back to that. I'm going to share one more time here. How he did his stairway, he broke it up into individual topo surfaces and just adjusted the height of them. So I guess it never occurred to me to do that, but that's totally logical how that was done too. So each one of these landings and stairs is an individual topo surface. So he broke it down into discrete little elements. So I'm going to stop sharing and ask Hayden to share his because his computer actually works. And he can we'll show his. So if you could zoom in a little, Hayden, on the, I'm going to go to view full screen here. So what he did was he painted his grass. His topo surface is basically just topo surface. It doesn't have a layer of grass and it doesn't have a layer of stone. So he just painted his grass on his topo surface and his stone on the vertical face of his topo surface. Now, if you watch my video, my theory on the grass is I actually put a 2-inch layer of grass on my topo surface and I put my grass everywhere. And then I have a little bit of trouble because the Enscape grass wants to eat through. It's so bushy that it wants to eat through, and you can see it's happening a little here. We'll show you how to fix that. There's a video that shows you how to fix that. Basically what you do is you go modify your Enscape grass and you remove the height of the grass so it looks like a golf course, like a putting green on a golf course. So it won't go through your sidewalk, it won't go through your wall. But this is, and the reality is what Habitat's looking for, apart from the design of the house, is how the heck are we going to do these retaining walls? How are we going to slope the ground and everything? So if you have the time to take your 3D site to an equivalent level, or at least a 3D level, I think that would be helpful for Habitat to get a picture in context. Okay, that's all I got. Any questions? Okay, thank you.